Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be reviewing the COLOURPOP Jelly Mud eyeshadows. I know these released a very long time ago and I'm only doing my review now, but when they first launched, honestly, I wasn't too keen on trying them. They just seemed a bit gimmicky to me, but after trying one out, I want to try the rest out. So I have 10 of the Jelly Mud shadows here today to share my thoughts on. So if you guys are interested in hearing my thoughts, then just continue watching. Alright, so the Jelly Mud shadows are all $8 each. I would describe the Jelly Mud shadows to be a mousse cream eyeshadow. So it's a wet formula. It is very special. I feel like I haven't really seen anything like this on the market and for its price. Some of the claims that it has is that it's long wearing, no creasing, no fading, no transfer, and no fallout. So it's really gonna stick onto your lid is what they're trying to say. I saw on ColourPop's website that there is 23 shades. I have 10 of them here. So I have about half of them. So I think we have a good, kind of a good range, as you guys can see. We got a good range. First, let's just talk about the formula and then I will talk about each individual shade while I am swatching them on my eyes so you guys can see what they look like. Overall, I think generally it is pretty consistent. All of the Jelly Mud shadows are super beautiful. They apply so easily, but you have time to move it around to place it where you need, and then once it's set, it's like set in stone. I think you can wear this alone, you could wear it as a base. There's just so many ways that you can play around with the Jelly Mud eyeshadows, but it is a really great formula. There's just so much dimension to this shadow, and for someone that doesn't like using creams, I've used this one, WHISTLIN PIXIE, which is my favorite, so many times. It's in my top drawer. I love this shade so much. I think it's such a special shade, along with a lot of the other Jelly Mud shadows as well. They're just a bit different. They have a lot of flip, they have a lot of glitters and a lot of dimension. It's just very unique to a standard eyeshadow, and I feel like a standard eyeshadow can't get that. And also a little tub will last you a very long time. So there's a problem of it drying out over time because it will take you a very long time to get through a whole tub. You literally need a little just because it's so pigmented that you don't need a lot at all. So I would just say like get a couple, don't buy all of them at once because they're probably gonna dry out by the time you get to all of them. A couple of ideas of how you could use the Jelly Mud shadows just because it is more of a unique product that I feel like most people don't know how to use it or what to use it for. There's actually so many ways you could use this. So just think of it as a cream eyeshadow. So you can use it as an eyeshadow base. So put this on first and then apply any other eyeshadow on top just to enhance that eyeshadow. You could wear it alone. I am wearing WHISTLIN PIXIE alone on my eyes today, and also a wee jammin in my inner corners. So you can use this as your inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight if you want. You could also use it as your cheekbone highlight as well, but when you are doing that, just go in with the tiniest amount. I was just playing around with these yesterday and I was just trying it on my bare skin as a highlighter, and I just literally dipped my finger in and applied it onto my skin, and it was so intense. So you need the tiniest bit amount and it will actually look very pretty. Like it's super metallic. So you could use it as a highlight as well. You could also use it as a liner. Some of the Jelly Mud are more metallic and some of them are a little bit thicker and glittery, which I will talk about each individual shade that I have. But for the metallic shades, you can definitely use it as an eyeliner, like a metallic eyeliner. That's really cool as well. So yeah, there's just like a couple of ways that you can use it. It is all up to you. You can use it on your lower lash line, wherever you like. The choices are endless. Definitely not just a one-purpose kind of product, if you know what I mean. If you guys had to buy one Jelly Mud shadow that I own, I would say get WHISTLIN PIXIE. I have raved about this guy in so many videos, in my top 10 ColourPop video and a favorite. Just so many videos I have talked about this specific shade, and it is just so pretty. Like, you guys need this. This is part of their spring collection, so it might be limited edition. So I would say get on it now. It is such a unique shade. It has such a rustic orange base, but then it has a flip of kind of pinks, and the shimmers in here is just so eye-catching. If you guys are familiar with Katie's and Desi's collection with Dose of Colors, their Francation palette, the shimmer shadows in there where it is like a metallic but it has a lot of glitter. It looks like the Kara app that's on your eyes. It's just like sparkling and it's just so pretty. Like, I cannot recommend this enough. And of course for the other 9, I feel like if you have a purpose for it, then go ahead and get it. But for me personally, in my everyday life, I don't typically wear golds or like greens, blues, purples. I typically go for like a very warm, rustic shade. Because like I mentioned, I feel like these would dry out over time, so you don't want to get a couple that you're not going to use. I would say Whistling Pixie is a very wearable everyday shade and it looks amazing. It's all up to you, but my recommendation would definitely have to be Whistling Pixie. Everything else is pretty and works fine. It's just I'm talking about this shade specifically. So that was my quick little review. I'm going to hand it over to my editing self and my voiceover self to guide you guys through each shade that I swatched on my eyes. So I'm kind of doing like a live swatch on my bare eye. That way you could see what it really looks like on my skin. I didn't swatch them on my arm. I thought it'd be more helpful to see them actually on the eyes. So yeah, I will talk in more detail about the shades and the formula because like I said, there is more of like a metallic jelly much and there's more of like a glittery, thicker jelly much shadow. So there is like a difference. I wouldn't say they're all consistently the same formula, but they all consistently, for the most part, work the same, if that makes sense. Alright, getting started with the first shadow, we have Bungalow. This is described to be a vibrant peacock teal. You can see here that it's very metallic. There's a little bit of glitter in here, but I would say for the most part it's on the metallic side. It is super even, there's no patchiness with this. It was a dream to work with. The next shadow that we have is Into Focus. This is described to be a bright jade with a gold sheen. This formula is a little bit more thicker, as you guys can see. It does come off a little bit patchy, so I would say just use a little, and it also has a lot more glitter compared to Bungalow. So it's a little bit different, but nonetheless it still works amazingly. Next we have Whistling Pixie, which is my favorite. This is described to be a warm terracotta with a gold sheen. This shadow is so pretty. This works so amazingly. It's like a metallic base, but it has so much dimension and glitter to it. You can really see all of those specks of glitter when you apply it to the eye. Now we move on to Foxes. This is described to be a rich amber gold. This one is super metallic. It literally looks like liquid gold, like a foiled shadow. Like, it's so intense, but it's so pretty at the same time. And now we have a Photosynthesis. This one is described to be a bright chartreuse, but I would describe it more to be like a dirty gold, if that makes any sense. But this one is super pretty. It works perfectly fine. I would say it's more on the metallic side. Next is Origami. This is described to be a bright yellow gold, and once again this is just another metallic jelly much shadow. Applies very evenly and it looks amazing and literally again looks like liquid gold. Look at that, it's so beautiful. And now we move on to Doves and Roses. This is part of their spring collection. On the website it's described to be a rose gold, but I would describe it to be a pinky metallic shadow with lots of gold specks of glitters in it. But this one is a little bit of a thicker formula. If you apply too much it can bunch up and make it look patchy, but if you just use a light hand with it, then obviously it will look very beautiful on the eyes. And now we have a Wide Awake. This is described to be a soft yellow gold. I would say this one on the eyes is a little bit more sheer and it has more glitter, so it would be really pretty as an eyeshadow topper. Then we have jammin. This is described to be a soft gold. I would say this is a perfect shade to highlight your inner corners or your brow bone, or if you have fairer skin, this will be nice to also highlight your cheekbones. It is a little bit more sheer and a little bit patchy in my opinion, so I definitely would just use this as a highlight rather than a whole lid eyeshadow. And lastly, we have Late Bloomer, which is described to be a rich plum with blue and teal duochrome flip, and that is exactly what it is. It is so cool. Like, this is probably the coolest jelly much shadow. From different angles and lighting situations, it can look like a completely different eyeshadow. Alright guys, so this is going to complete my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful, even though it's like how many months late. If you guys did enjoy it, be sure to give the video a thumbs up for me. I would appreciate it so much if you did. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have you guys tried the jelly much shadows out yet? I'm pretty sure you have. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys and I will see you in my next video. Bye!